Hello everyone. Welcome to my video on basic Python. If this is your first time learning Python, don't worry. It's going to be simple and fun. To keep this video to the point, I have divided it into 10 parts and it will cover everything you need to know to start coding with. First of all, you will need a setup, some IDE to run Python. So here we have Colab Notebook. This is a link to Colab Notebook. Once you click on this, you will be redirected to this page where you need to sign in with your Gmail account. Once you sign in, you will be able to access the notebook. Now, let's start with what is Python, how to run Python, and stuff. So, here, if you can see, we have a kind of notebook where we can add two parts, code or a text part. So, I would like to add a code part. I will just add one code cell here. Now, how to run Python code. This is the first part. So I will try to run a Python code. Print. This is my first code. Once I run it, this is the output bar where I am able to see what is being the output of this cell. Now here print is a function which takes a string as an input and it prints that out for this case. Now there are certain indentation. Although Python is easy to learn because it focuses mainly on readability, but unlike many programming languages, Python uses indentation. And instead of braces, where we can simply use an indentation to define what has to go inside what kind of variable. I will just show if true, print correct indentation. I will run this now. This is correct indentation. So here one tab difference and it is giving me correct indentation. But let's say I type the same thing if true, and instead of going to inside that if, I am just coming out and I'm printing something. First of all, here only we can see it is red, means if we hover over it, we'll be able to see expected indentation block, and this is an issue. And if I try to run, it won't even go inside print. It will give you an error, expected indented block after if statement. So this is what we say is incorrect indentation. Then this hash means comments. So if I talk about comments, they are very important for documenting your code. We use hash for single line comments and triple quotes for multi-line comments. So here we can see this is a single line comment and this is a multi-line comment. I have a small exercise for you in this part one. Try to print hello world. If you are get able to print hello world into your console, it means you are set up with the code and you will be able to run the other parts of this notebook. Moving on to the part number two, variable and data types. Now in Python, we don't need to declare variable type explicitly. The type is inferred from the value we assign. So let's say for this variable declaration, I add a cell here and I give age equals to 25. I run this and I add one more part. Now if I try to print type age, the variable age has a type integer. It automatically took it from it. Now if I try to uh, make it inside code, now it is string. If I run this, it will be automatically updated. It's class string. So the data types which Python supports is integer, float, string, and boolean. I will give example of all of them now. So for integer, I gave an example of 25. For string, I will give an example of this. So now my name is variable, which is a string because there is a double quote for this value. Now for float, let's say height equals to 5.9. This is a decimal value, so it will be a float. And for Boolean, I can give is active equals to true. Now true and false, whenever they are there, it's a Boolean type. We also have type conversion in Python, so I can convert from one type to another. So let's say if I print type of 5. So this is a string because it has double quotes. And now I want to convert it. So I will just add int before it. So now the type of int of string of 5 should be int. If I run this, it's an integer. Similarly, we can convert 3.14 is one of the string which is a float. So if I try to convert it to float, it will be converted successfully. So one thing to keep in mind is the value we are giving inside this should be actually this format, otherwise it will give you an error. And then there are some best practices which needs to be followed. We use a snake casing in Python. Snake case is a naming convention that uses underscore to replace spaces between words and write them all in lowercase. Hello world. So hello world all are in lowercase and they are connected with an underscore. This is how we define the name of the variable in Python. Here's a small exercise. What is the output of type 3.14? I try to give this float and a string. You try this out. Type of 3.14, is it coming? And if I want to convert, how do you convert a string 25 to an integer? Try it out. We'll move it into the third part of this video now. It is basic operators. Operators are symbol used for computation. Python supports arithmetic, comparison, and logical operators. So here for arithmetic, we have plus, minus, star is for multiplication. This is division. Modulus is for giving remainder. Double is integer division, and star is power of. So let me have a value here. A equals to 10, B equals to 3. If I give A plus B, it will give me 13 plus operator. If I give minus B, it will give me 7 difference. If I give me star B, it should be multiplication. 10 into 3, 30. If I do division by B, this will give me a float value, 3.33. If I give double slash, it means it is an integer division. Now we'll get just the integer value out of it. And if I give double star, it should be 10 raised to the power 3, which is 1000. These are all the arithmetic operators. Comparison operator. Now comparison operator gives me boolean as an output. So if I give a equals to b, it will give me a boolean output. False. A is not equals to a is 10, b is 3. It's not equal, so it's giving me false. And if I write here instead of this, if I give not equal to b, it will give me true. So a is not equals to b. Is a less than b? False. A is greater because a is 3. If I give a greater than b, it's true, and so on. Logical operators, we have and, or, not. So I can just write true and false. It will give me false because true and false is false. If I give true and true, it will give me true. All the logical operators which are supported here are and, or, and not. Now compound assignment. There we can do compound assignment. So usually we write, let's say x equals to 10 and I want to give x equals to x plus 2, which can also be written as x plus equals to 2. Now if I comment this out and I print x, it will give me 12. I will comment this part out and now I will uncomment this part out, which is a compound assignment. And now if I print x, I'll still get 12. So instead of writing x equals to x plus 2, we can just write a compound assignment x plus equals to 2. This can be done for anything, x plus, modulus, star, all these variables. So this is a kind of compound assignment. Small exercise. What is the result of 10 modulus 3? I have not shown what this modulus does, but I will tell you it gives you remainder. So try to run it. What is the output of true and false? What is the output of not true? Then moving on to the next part, control flow statement. Control flow statements allows us to make decisions. Else, if else, elif. So I'll show a small part here. Let's say we have a number equals to 7. Now I want to check if this number is even or odd. So I can simply write a code. If num modulus will give me um, remainder. If num modulus 2 equals to 0, so when I divide 7 by 2 and the remainder is 0, it means it is even. Else, print odd. Since this 7 is odd, it should come out as odd, which is correct. So this is how we use if else. Only the indentation will tell us that it has to go inside if, and else then this print has to go inside else block. Now the second part is looping. So for loop, we have a keyword called range, which tells the for loop has to run from where till where. So if I write for I in range 5, print I. So it will start from 0. For loop, it starts from 0 by default, and it will go till the number of elements which are there is total 5. So if I print, it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the total number of elements are 5. I can also give here like 2 comma. Now it means you have to start from 2 and go till you have total number of elements. Now 2, 3, 4. These are the three. So it's like start from 2 and end till this element minus 1. Because it starts with 0, you can simply assume that the one element which you give here will not be printed in the output. It's like one element has to be less. But if you take the length is always starts from 1. Range starts from 0. That is one thing to be kept in mind. And we can also give one more part here. Like right now, if you can see the step is 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, which is 1, 1, 1. But if I give 2, then output will be 2 comma 4, which means start from 2, end before 5, and step size is 2. Means firstly you will print 2 because this is 2, then take a step of 2 plus 2 here, and then print another element 4, and then before 5 you have to stop. You can look more into for loop. The ideal for loop is where we just give a range, just one number, and mostly this is what we usually use in most of the interview coding rounds. And this is ideal for loop, which is very important. Coming to the while loop is also a similar one. Now, let's say I have a value count. While count is, let's say, less than 5, print count. Now, this while loop will always keep on printing because count is always less than 5. It is 0. So it will keep on infinite. So we have to keep some condition. So here we can just give count equals to count plus 1. I can also use compound assignment here. Instead of this, I can just say plus equals to, which means the same. Count equals to count plus 1 if I run this. So you can see first it printed count, then it went here, it made it count equals to count plus 1, which is 1. Again, he checked the value, it is less than 5, it printed, and so on. Till 4 it went and it printed. So this is how we use while loop. Coming to break and continue. So break is where we want to exit the loop early. So let's have a scenario where let's say I have a for loop for I in range 10, but I don't want to print everything. I want to print only until I is 3. So if I equals to 3, I want to break. I don't want anything after that. Until then, I want to print I. So it is 0, 1, 2. So it printed 1, it printed 0, it printed 1, it printed 2. Then when this condition got true that I equals 3, it broke. Now this for loop, it comes out of this for loop. Now I'll show you continue. Now continue is to skip the current iteration. So let's say for I in range 1 till 6 means we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I don't want to print. I want to print every element in the range of 1 to 6, but I don't want to print 3. In that case, I can simply say if I equals to 3, you skip it. So it's like you continue. Else, in other cases, just keep on printing I. Here, if you will see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, I gave count. It's continue. 1, 2, 4, 5. So 3 is being missed out because we have used the keyword continue. So I want to skip this condition. I skip that condition. Apart from that, everything is printed out. So here's a small exercise for you. Write a program that prints number 1 to 10 using for loop. Try it out. Moving on to the fifth part, which is function. So functions are kind of reusable blocks of code. We define function using a keyword called def. I will show you how we define. Let's have a function definition here. Define greet. So def is the function which is for defining a function, and then you have greet is the name of that function. Now I have to pass some parameter here. Let's say I pass name and I print hello, and then I put a comma here, and then I print whatever name you are passing. This is how I am defining a function. Now, second part is calling a function. Now, I want to call this function. I will call it with my name. When I run it, it gives me hello Prakya. So, okay, I did a mistake. Instead of print, we usually use return for a function. And then we use F is for string formatting. And this element will be like this. So what is happening? F is used for string formatting, and then we have a keyword hello, which is a string which will be printed. Then this name. Now name is coming from the function. If I print this, it's hello comma Pragya. So hello comma is a string, and it is okay. I will just make it easier also once. So return name. Now once I print this, Pragya from here goes to my function, and it is returning. This is how we can, this is a more advanced version, which ideally for interviews we do not need it, but this is string formatting. You can look into it on Google, simple search string formatting. There are many ways of doing it. Second part of it is positional and keyword arguments. So let's say we have define info and name, similar thing. Now return. Here I can give name, and I can also give something else. So let me just, instead of return, let me write the print. Name, let me write this way. Name equals to comma, and then I'm giving the name. And I am calling it with a name. This is the same function which we have seen above, kind of. So name is name. Now here I give one more function, one more parameter, which is age equals to 25. Now it means that age is a parameter which is a default value of 25. Now again, if I run this, it is printing name. If I print the age, oh sorry, this got hidden. Okay. If I run this again, age is 25. Even when I am not passing it in the function calling statement, it is giving me, because this is a default value. But now instead of taking the default value, I pass here age equals to 30. Then in that case, it will give me name equals to Pragya, age equals to 30. So that is one thing. Like if you want to keep one parameter with its default value, we do not have to explicitly pass it all the time, but in case you pass it, it will be overwritten. So this is how we can make use of parameters which have a default value. Now, one thing to keep in mind is the values of the parameter that are default, they always have to come in the last of definition function. So I can't write age equals to 25 comma name. I have to write name followed by the parameter which is default. That is one thing to be kept in mind. And then I have a small exercise. What will happen if a function doesn't have a return statement? Although I have tried this out here, I don't have a return statement. It's just printing out. But what will happen if you have a return statement versus what will happen if you don't have? Just figure it out and write a function add numbers that returns the sum of two numbers. Okay, moving on to the next part, working with strings. Now, strings are sequence of characters. We can use string methods to modify and analyze text. So let's say I have a string called sentence, which is equals to hello world. Now, if I print, sentence, it will give me hello world. There are certain operations which string performs. It can perform concatenation, hello plus world. It can have a repetition, high asterisk 3, accessing characters. I will show each of them one by one. So for concatenation, let's say I have sentence is already there. I want to add something to hello world. So let's say this is one sentence plus I had hello world to comma my first code. If I run this, I am getting this as a common sentence because of this key, this plus operation which concatenated both of the strings. Repetition. Now, if I try this high asterisk 3, what ideally it will do is it will take high and it will multiply it 3 by, it will print it 3 times. High, high, high. If I give a space here, again print 3 times. Now, accessing characters. If you want to access, let's say I want to access the first letter of sentence, I can just simply write 0. It will give me H. I want to access W. I can just count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sixth. So this is how we can access using I. We can also use for loop to access the entire elements. Then another part is slicing, string support slicing. I want to print only hello. I can figure out H starts from 0. First, let me print this. 1, 2, 3. So 1 is, this is 0, H is 0, E is 1, E, then 2 is L, then 3 means we have to go till 3, we don't have to print 3. So if I want to print hello whole, I will start from 0 and I have to go till one element till here. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it should be 5. It should be 5. Hello. So it starts from H is 0, E is 1, L is 2, then L is 3, then O is 4. And then fifth is this space. So it goes till fifth but doesn't print fifth. This is how slicing is being performed on strings. Then string methods, we have certain string methods, length, strip, lower, upper, split, and join. I will show. Length is used to give me the length of this string. If I print here, let me make a simple sentence. Now, sentence equals to A, B, C. Length is giving me 3. So length starts with 1. So 1, 2, 3. 3 is the length. Now, second is strip. I want to strip this sentence. Now, what strip does is it removes the um, okay, it's like sentence dot strip. Now, what strip does is it will remove the spaces from end and from front. Now, if I run this, it is giving me without spaces. You can see. This is the function of strip. Lower is used to convert to the lowercase. So if I want to have A, B, C, let's say, if I run this, it will be uh, lower. then I will get lowercase. Now you can see the spaces are there because I have not used dip, and so on. Upper will give upper, split, and join. Just figure it out. Split will be splitting it into list format. I will show split also. Now it has made one split out of it. Split means now this is the first element of our what do you say, um, list. Split is very useful. It is very useful when we have to do operations related to string. During in most of the interview question, you will be coming around split, so it's better you find out more use cases of split. You can start learn more about it. Just a Google search. Split is very important function. And then we are also there are certain characters called escape characters. So escape characters are like slash and tab. So if I print, okay, let me define a sentence string new, and then I want a new line. I want to print new in one, and I want to print line in the second. So I can just put this end len before line. What it will do is if I now print a, it will give new and line in the second line. So this end len is used to break the string from middle, and while printing it will give you to the new line. Similarly tab and so on. There's a small exercise. What is the output of Python being sliced from 1 to 4? And write a program that asks the user for their name and prints its uppercase. Try that out. Moving on to the seventh part, lists and tuple. Lists are mutable collection of items. Tuples are similar but immutable. By mutable, I mean to say the list can be changed. I will just show you how to create a list first. I want to make a list called fruits equals to apple, comma, banana, comma, cherry. So this is how my list has been formed. It has elements. It can be integer, it can be number, it can be string. Now I want to access the first element of my list. I can simply write fruits at 0, which is the first element of the list. I want to modify. I want to make first element, this is 0, this is first. I want to make first element as, instead of banana, I want to make it cherry. I can simply modify, not cherry, blueberry, let's say. And then if I print my fruits again, apple, blueberry, cherry. So banana has been replaced. Now there are certain list methods. Append. Append is usually to add new element to the list. So now if I have fruits, I can use fruits dot append, and I can write a new element. So let's say I want to add orange to the list. I added orange. Now if I print fruits again, apple, blueberry, cherry, and orange has been added. Similarly, remove. I want to remove some element. I want to remove orange. Orange has been removed. Pop and sort. Sorting is basically for like I have a list of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 3, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 something. I want to sort it in ascending or descending order. Sort is used in that case. You can Google search and see how it works. Pop. Pop is to remove the last element of the it is used to remove the topmost element of the list. Just figure it out. It's not very tough, but most of the time in the questions we come around these kind of list methods where we use append and remove. Similarly, tuple is immutable. Like I want, like if I have a coordinate or something which is 10 comma 20, sorry, coordinates. If I print it, I will get 20, 10 comma. Now I can't update it. I can't perform this function on tuples. Why? Because tuples are immutable. You can figure it out why. And that's why tuples are very secure. Once you have defined, you cannot change them. That is one benefit of using tuples. How do you access the third element of the list? Try to figure it out. It's simple. You have to give that in the sizing part. Create a list of 5 favorite fruits and print the last fruit using indexing. Try it out. Simple exercises. Eighth part is dictionary and set. Dictionaries store key value pair, and sets are unordered collection of unique elements. I will create a dictionary. Student equals to, let's say we have a student with name. His name is Alice, comma, age. And his age, oh sorry, and his age is, let's say, 25. So this is my dictionary. Now, if I run this, it won't give me any error. Now I want to access the name of this dictionary. So I will have to pass name here. See, you can see it is giving me 2 parameters. I can pass this, run it. I'll give, I'll get Alice. I want to update. So in that case, I can simply do student age. Let's say I want to update the age of this from 25 to 27. And then again, I can print it. Alice 27. This is how we deal with dictionaries. So dictionaries are very useful when we have a key value pair. Then coming to set, set is used for removing the duplicates mostly. Now let's say I have numbers equals to 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 4. Now if I print numbers, it gives me 1, 2, 3, 4. It removes duplicates. This is one of the major importance of set. We use set where we need to remove duplicates. I want to add some element to this set. I can simply do numbers dot add 5. This is how I add element in the set. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other things what set supports is union, intersection, and difference. Now let's say I have two sets. A equals to 1, comma 2, comma 3, and B equals to 2, comma 3, comma 4. Union gives the all the elements in the set. So A dot union function B. If you print this, you will get all the elements. 1, 2, 3, 4. It removes the duplicates. 1, 2, 3, 4 union. I can also, instead of writing in this way, I can also write A, and this is a symbol for union, which gives me the same output. Now, intersection, it will give the common elements. So if I type A dot intersection B, it gives me 2 and 3. 2 and 3 are the common elements. And instead of using the keyword, I have AND operator, which is the intersection 2 and 3. Then difference, if I want to find the difference, I can simply do A minus B. Or I can also write A dot difference B. Sorry, spelling is wrong. Deffrence. Sorry, again, it's wrong. Okay. So difference is 1, 2, 3, you remove 2 and 3, which is same as A minus B. So these are all the set operations. Now, how do you add a new key value pair to a dictionary? Try to figure it out. What will be the length of apple, banana, apple as a list? Moving on to the ninth part, which is file handling. Now, file handling is not very important, but it is ideal to know. Python makes it easy to read and write files. So there is a function called open with the help of which we can use reading and writing operations. So with open, let's say I give a file name, file.txt, comma r. So r means reading as file. And then I write print file dot read. Now here what is happening? It is opening a file called file.txt in a reading mode, and then it prints file. Now the thing here to keep in mind is when I don't have this file.txt, it will give me an error. Error in the sense I can show here. This is where we have our files and there is no file. You can see this file option. There is only sample data and there's nothing called file.txt. If I run this now, I'll get this error, no such directory exists. File is in the reading mode, but if reading is in the reading mode, it needs to be present beforehand. But when you are doing a writing operation, if it is not present, it will simply create a file and then it will do the writing. So I will show you now the writing thing as well with open file.txt in the writing mode. Now in the writing mode, I have to pass w as file print file dot. I can simply do file dot write function. And once I run this, you see a file has been created here because it was not there. It created it and it has written the content. Now, if I want to access this content, I can run this code again. And you can see with open file in reading mode, it is able to print. So these are the two basic operations which we perform. But in writing, if it is not present, it will create a file and write. If it is already present, it will overwrite. In in reading, you need to have that file beforehand. This is two things to be kept in mind. Moving on to the last part, debugging and errors. Now, errors are inevitable. We use try and except to handle them gracefully. There are common errors, syntax error, name error, index error, type error. So let's say try block. I am asking a user to input. So int input, enter a number. And then I print the square of that number. Square is. And then I print that number asterisk 2, which will give me square of that number. Except now here I can pass value error. Value error will see if that value which we are passing inside should be an integer since it's asking for integer. If not, it will give me an output called please enter a valid number or anything we want to. We can simply pass here. Please enter a valid number. Now this input it will take from user. I'll run it and show. Now enter a number and this is running until we give a number. So I give here 3 and I print use enter, it gives me square is 9, which is correct. Now let's say I give some other. I give new, which is a string, and I do enter. It will go to accept block. It will say please enter a valid number. So it needs a number. So this is how we handle errors. But if you just do it without try except, what will happen is now here invalid literal for end with base new. So this error is being handled here in the except block. So this is how my entire thing works. Now, the exercise which I have given above, their solution are attached to the bottom of this Jupyter notebook. I have this collab notebook. I will be sharing this notebook with you people. Try to solve the exercise and then after that look into the value, look into the solution and you can match it. Thank you. And if you like this video, please keep following. Thank you.